Yes, people, welcome to Big Head Mode, your look at the week's hottest video game news. And it has been a hell of a week in the games industry, and we've got a lot to talk about. So let's crack open a cold one and get right into this.
Bring me eggs.
Valve has killed the Steam Deck. This week they announced a price increase to that console, and it is one which has made the console just unjustifiable at this point. So we were notified that the Steam Deck was back in stock. However, there were some pretty significant changes to the pricing structure. Notably, the 256GB LCD model is now gone. You do not have the option to get that anymore. And if you want to get one of the OLED models, the 512GB model, well, that's going to run you £649, up from a cost of £479. And if you want the 1TB model, you are looking at £779. That's up from the original £569. And this is just insane. Now, I made a video on this when it first came out, and it's one that has really hit me because, yes, Valve have always been doing what they can for the players, and Steam as a platform is one that players trust. Now, they did say in a statement that it is due to the ongoing component costs, component shortages, and the postage costs and shipping issues that they're facing worldwide, all down to things such as war and AI data centers causing all of these component shortages. And it's just wild that this is the world that we live in now, where a games console which came out 4 years ago is now going to run you, what, £779? It's just wild. The tech is still the same inside. Nothing has progressed. It is just essentially the same, just with an OLED screen. And aside from that, it's still the same Steam Deck that I have. So it's really hard to justify. Now, people were saying, oh, but it's sold out. It's like, well, yeah, it might have sold out originally. We don't know how many they had in stock. It's still in stock in the UK, and I'm not sure if it's ever out of stock in the UK. But you try and justify that console to someone now. You say to someone, hey, buying the 1TB model of the Steam Deck is a good buy. Because you can't with your chest say that. People got their arms up when Nintendo announced a price increase for the Switch 2, and that price increase was $50, and that's not even happening until September. Unless you live in Japan. But this is egregious. This is ridiculous. £210 on top of the actual console price from last week is just wild. Now, what does this mean for the Steam machine? That's the big question. Well, we don't know, but what we do know is it's not going to be cheap. Unless this is being done as some like psychology thing where it looks really expensive here so the Steam machine can come out cheaper. I don't know, I don't work in marketing. But what I do know is if you're going to charge that much for the Steam Deck, the Steam machine is going to be even more expensive. I'm guessing it's going to be 4 figures. And that's just horrible, but we don't know for certain yet. So I'm not going to speculate too much on that, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere south of £1,000. And if it is south of £1,000, I will be very surprised, but also very happy of that. I originally thought it was going to be about 500 to 600 quid, but that's long gone now given these prices. But yeah, it's just really hard to justify the Steam Deck now, and in my eyes it is dead in the water because that price to power ratio is just not there. We've had our first look at Unreal Engine 6. Epic Games announced that the newest iteration of their very popular game creation engine is going to be coming out in the future, hopefully soon. And it looks like Rocket League is going to be one of the first titles to get it. Now, for those of you that don't know, Rocket League is still on, I believe, Unreal Engine 3. So it's going to be bypassing Unreal Engine 5 and going straight to 6. So players of that game are hopefully going to get a humongous improvement. Now, it was really weird how this was announced because it was announced at the Rocket League Championship Series Paris Major. And that's all we kind of know. We saw a little bit of footage where it was all like in-engine, like stuff that they were showing, but we didn't see any details of it. We didn't get any sort of fancy like stuff that we had when UE5 was announced. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where this can go. Now, I'm someone that's liked Unreal Engine for a very long time. When I was in university, we used to use Unreal Editor and then UDK when that came about. So I've got a history with it, and I do like it. I do like dabbling with it now and again. But that said, from a developmental point of view and from a games industry point of view, it's a very popular engine. There are a lot of people that can look at a game and just see that it has been made in Unreal Engine, and they kind of all have that very similar feel to them. It's really weird. But there's also a lot of bugs with Unreal Engine. It doesn't feel like it's been really optimized, so it kind of makes me wonder, why are we going for another engine iteration instead of improving on this one more? Now, the time between these sort of engine cycles and engine upgrades is kind of like the same, but at the same time, in this gen, it kind of makes you wonder, like, we're not optimizing anything at the moment, and yet we're just going to move on to the next one. I don't know, but that said, there are going to obviously be a lot of games that are currently working in Unreal Engine 5 that might be getting these upgrades. Things like Witcher 4, for example, which is currently being built in Unreal Engine 5, that's probably going to be pushed to Unreal Engine 6. Obviously, we're going to see it come to things like Fortnite as well. And maybe, who knows, cross my fingers, we might get a new Unreal Tournament game. Stranger things have happened. Another day, another game is shut down. That's right, Destuction Allstars is no more. Well, it's gonna be no more. The multiplayer services for it have been shut down, and Sony have announced that the single player stuff for it will be going away on November 25th. It was cited to do with an ongoing maintenance issue, and they're just gonna end up looking at closing down that game. Now, Destruction All-Stars isn't a game that I held close to my heart. It was a game which originally launched with the PS5, well, a few months after the PS5. It was meant to come out towards launch and it didn't. It got delayed to February, put into the PlayStation Extra catalog for free, then 2 months later it was on sale for £20, I think it was, and then shortly back for free. Weird way of launching a game, very weird, and I just don't remember anyone talking about it after it first came out. The reason I checked it out was I'm pretty certain one of my friends worked on it on a QA side of it, and aside from that I had no interest in playing it. I think I dabbled with it once or twice and it was just meh. Live service games like this don't really appeal to me, and I'm sure the market out there for them isn't the biggest. But that said, it is a game where people have invested money into it. It's a game where people have spent time playing it, and they're not going to be able to. Sony have said that the single player will remain until November 25th, and after that the servers will be shut down completely. Whether that means that you'll no longer be able to do anything after 25th, I don't know. It's a bit confusing how it's all laid out with these always online games, but with the recent Stop Killing Games movement, I would really hope that there would be something there to allow players, after the closure of all the online capabilities of this game are done, to actually keep on playing the game. Now, it might be that, I might just be misunderstanding it. All I do know is there will be no more multiplayer. I don't think there's any multiplayer right now. It was a shame to see this happen. It was inevitable given the fact that I can't remember the last time someone mentioned this game, but I really hope that there's more games out there that can find a way of staying around maybe when the back end has to be closed down. And it does beg the question what the digital future is going to be like when it eventually gets here. And that's not me saying I want it. I'm someone who loves physical games, so I will do as much as I can to make sure I always have a physical copy of the game, but it's inevitable. Sony have announced the Days of Play for 2026 event. Now, it's going on for about another 10 or so days, and you're gonna be able to get your hands on a lot of games, a lot of hardware at discounted rates. In the past, we have seen them give away free games. I'm pretty certain I got a copy of Horizon via that, but there's nothing like that this year from what I can tell. There's also no discounts on hardware this year from games consoles, but if you want, you can save 90 quid on a PSVR 2. I still hate the fact that I bought that on release day. But there's also digital games on there that you can get, and some of them I've seen with 25% off, 35%. There's a decent chunk of money that you can save on things like Ghost of Yotei and Battlefield 6, to just name a few. There's also savings on controllers and headsets and earphones if you're after things like that. There's savings on PlayStation console covers, but there's still none for the PS5 Pro. And controversially, even though they've just given them a price increase, there is a discount on PlayStation Plus memberships. So it's on the 12-month tiers if you want to get one. It will stack with your current one, so you can add it on to the end of it. So if you are someone who's thinking of, at the end of this, going to another tier or extending what you've currently got for a discounted rate, you can. Bear in mind, if you are going from like an essential extra tier up to another tier, you will have to pay that difference first and then carry it on by the looks of it. But it looks like there are a few savings to be made, so it might be worth checking that out on the PlayStation console itself or on the website, whichever one you want to do, and go from there. Oh, another thing to mention is that the physical collector's editions for Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, and Spider-Man 2 have got £90 off them. If you are someone who missed out on that or didn't want to pay the £200+ price tag, this might be your chance to get them. The highest rated game of the year is here. Mina The Hollower has launched, and it has come out to an astounding round of applause from pretty much everyone. It is currently sat as the #1 game this year on Metacritic at a 92, meaning it is beating out things such as Forza Horizon 6, Procopia, and Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Now, personally, I've been enjoying my time with the game. I have streamed a little bit of it over on Twitch, and I did take my Switch 2 out yesterday and play it outside, because, getting out is a nice thing to do. But playing Mina The Hollower has been a really lovely experience. And I say that because the game has been kicking my ass, but if you are someone who loves that retro style, that isometric adventure game from things such as Link's Awakening from the Game Boy age, then you will love this game. But do not be fooled. Just because it might look like Link's Awakening, it doesn't mean it plays like it. It is more akin to like a Dark Souls-y style game, and it is tough, but it is fun. It is very, very fun, and it is very, very pretty. Personally, like I said, I'm playing it on the Switch 2, and I think that the handheld mode kind of really benefits it there. If you haven't got a Switch 2, it is available on Switch 1, and you can also get it on things like PC and on PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like that as well. Personally, I would go for a handheld console if you have that option, just for that authentic retro feel to it. But whatever you play it on, you are not going to be disappointed. And we finally know the games that are coming to the PlayStation Plus Essential tier for the month of June. Starting off, we have got Grounded Fully Yoked Edition, which from what I can tell is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the video game, where you have to survive as shrunken down humans in a essentially garden. I didn't play it when it first came out. I know they've announced the second one, or the second one's been released, but this is like the definitive way of playing that game. So if this was something that you missed out on and you did think you wanted to play it, or you started playing the sequel and haven't checked out the original, there you go, it's part of your membership now. We've also got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 coming out, which is essentially Smash Bros, but with Nickelodeon characters. And that's probably a really sort of basic way of looking at it, but I'm not a huge Smash Bros fan from a fighting game point of view. It is a party game in my eyes, and I do not see it as an actual fighting game. That's maybe the purist in me, but that's how I see it. However, this is essentially that with Nickelodeon characters. You've got things like SpongeBob in there. I'm sure you've got things like the Rugrats, and I could really show my age here, but I'm going to stop before I go too deep into the old Nickelodeon like cartoon and TV show eras. And then last up, we have Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, which is like a multiplayer co-op game where I have no idea what's going on because I don't know much about 40k aside from the fact that I want to play Necron, but I haven't got the time, money, or facilities to actually build an army for it. But if you are a 40k fan and you want to play Dark Tide, there you go. It's also worth noting that FC26 is going to be hanging around until June 16th, giving you a little bit more time to grab that if you didn't already. Again, I don't like football, so I could not care less, but I'll still add it to my library anyway. And that is it for Big Head Mode episode 12. And this week is going to be a huge week for us, both myself and for the games industry as a whole, because we've got a lot of events. Starting off on Tuesday with Sony State of Play. Friday, we got Summer Game Fest. We've got the Xbox Showcase as well. It's going to be nuts, and I cannot wait to share it all with you. Everyone who comes to watch my videos, I really appreciate it. And if you want to come and hang out when these events are happening, I'm going to be live streaming over on Twitch and on YouTube, so you can have and hang out, watch me get excited with me. Just share your thoughts and feelings on it, and I really, really look forward to seeing you there. Let me know what you're looking forward to with this whole E3, non-E3 season, and I will see you soon. You stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one.